Hello YouTube, it is Champion DJK coming at you with a video today on Johnny Lightning. You know, Johnny Lightning is one of the funnest brands to collect, and I've got some cool stuff here to share with you. On the right side, we've got some new items. On the left side, we got some old items. And one thing that makes Johnny Lightning so much fun to collect is not only do they put out some fun stuff that, comes out throughout the year and they're current, it's really fun to find some cool Johnny Lightnings of the past. It's just a blast. They're just a fun brand to collect. They have such an amazing, vast tooling catalog. You know, they're not true 1/64 scale, except for the new castings. The newest castings are, but over history they were not. And, they just did some goofy stuff. They did some unique stuff. They did some goofy stuff. We got a Porsche right here. I don't even know how many of you might even know that Johnny Lightning ever put out a Porsche. So that's old, and we'll get to that. I'm actually really excited to open that. And, they're just a fun brand. They're still fun today to collect, but I'm telling you, it is a blast to go back in time and try to find some older Johnny Lightnings and some weird stuff. So really, really cool. They also did some kind of secret, we'll call it the mystery matinee. They do mystery matinee now. I don't have the one, to show you, but they did the Back to the Future truck, but didn't it wasn't the Back to the Future truck, you know what I mean? So they did that back in the day. Check that out. So that's what, Mad Max or whatever, MFP. So pretty cool. So they did some interesting stuff. Just some very, very interesting stuff. We might as well start with this one right here. Let's start with an oldie. Why not? So this is Johnny Lightning. The red card Johnny Lightning is what I call it. Small card ones. These were sold almost as you could think of as almost like a Auto World Deluxe. They were mainly like a plastic base and a lot of times had plastic tires. And they were sold, I think, a lot less expensive than, the full metal, full premium Johnny Lightning stuff. So pretty interesting. But actually some of their most interesting stuff is in this line. There's a lot of cool releases in this line. So we've got this guy here today. Some of this old Johnny Lightning, by the way, one of the things I got from Jay, I just want to shout out some friends. So I purchased this one from Jay. I got some of this other stuff from SC Diecast, and I got the new Johnny Lightning stuff from SC Diecast as well. Located in Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin. Check them out on Facebook. Good people. Like to support them whenever I can. And here we go. 1971 Chevy Chevelle SS. Wait, it's a Chevelle in MFP. That's so weird, right? Because this is a bit confusing. But check it out. It's really cool looking. So it was supposed to be what? Like a Ford Falcon or something? Or I don't know. Maybe I don't even know what I'm talking about. Somebody else look at this and make sense of it. Comment on the video. But it is a Chevelle in this MFP livery, which was what, something police? I don't know. I'm really bad with movie references, by the way, and stuff like that, so I'm not really your go-to for pop culture stuff. I used to watch a lot of movies, but whatever. It's an Interceptor. Very, very cool. Check it out. It just looks cool. Like I said, it's fun, right? It's fun. It's a Chevelle. This one has a plastic base, as we talked about. Plastic wheels, but the wheels looks pretty cool. And we got the little lights up top. And there it is. Definitely smaller than 1/64 scale. A lot of Johnny Lightning castings from this era are. Just so beware of that, I guess, if scale is super important to you. So really cool. So might as well get this other weird one out of the way right away, because this is another one. This is a supercar. And this is also from something. And, and again, dumb me, I don't know. It's Supercar from what? Was there a show called Supercar? I'm not really sure. It's definitely an oldie. And this was definitely in like a Johnny Lightning Hollywood release, as you can see. So they did some licensed Hollywood stuff too. Looks like they had the Mod Squad Woody, the Partridge Family Bus. I have the Partridge Family Bus. That's a cool one. Felicity Shagwell's Corvette, Green Hornet's Black Beauty, and Scooby-Doo's Mystery Machine. So they do have a Mystery Machine as well. Let's go ahead and open up this thing. I got this thing because I thought this was just weird. And again, Johnny Lightning being fun to collect, you got to get some weird stuff. Looks like we get this little cardboard cutout of the supercar with the monkey in the back. That's fun. And then here this thing is. What a weird release, right? What a weird release. It's got little tiny wheels on the bottom. Metal base on this one. Kind of interesting. It doesn't really roll super well. It probably would if it was on a different surface. This is a glossy, like acrylic, so it's just kind of sliding along there. But, I mean, how weird is that? And how cool is that, right? So, oh, by the way, also date-wise, we could try to date some of this stuff. That first one that we opened, their copyright dates for some reason are really tough to find on the back of the card. 2000, I'm going to guess 2011 or something like that, somewhere around there. It's from release 14. And then this supercar thing is, the packaging is dated, copyright 2001. So, and again, they're tough to find. We'll try to find them, but I can't guarantee we're going to find them on all the older packaging. All right, so check those two out. Really cool older Johnny Lightnings, some colorful, fun stuff. Let's get a little serious for a second. Let's grab this guy. We've got a Ford F-150. This tooling is pretty neat, and it is it's not 1/64 scale because it's not like a brand new tooling, but this is their Ford F-150 tooling. It's a good tooling. This is in the Collector Tin series. Version B, Release 2, for 2025, Release 2, Collector Tin. You can see the other vehicles that would have been in the series here. The Ford F-150 is the only one I picked up, and actually picked up both colors. So this is the version B we'll look at first. These tins I've talked about at length before. Kind of cool, but I don't think I'd ever store my cars in there. But, you know, it's all right. I'm not going to rehash that convo. You can look at other Johnny Lightning episodes for me to give you my thoughts on that. Here is the Ford. So, I don't know how old this casting is. They do have tooling numbers. This is tooling number 951. And I'm not sure how long this casting's been around, but I've got a bunch of different versions of it. And this one's in Iris Poly, so this is actually like a factory color, I guess, for this truck, which is, I don't know that I would ever see them selling too many of this truck in this color. It just seems like a little bit of an odd choice, but who knows? I kind of dig it. Oh, check that out. Okay, so this is interesting because Johnny Lightning's not really known for having detailed headlights. Check that out. Check that out. That's a new thing for Johnny Lightning, and I'm noticing it right away. Normally, they're just painted on, simple block colored, like this PT Cruiser here that we'll look at in a moment. But looks like they're actually doing a printing process on there and actually getting the headlights to look more realistic, which is very cool. I think that's very odd. See, the back is more their style, normally what you see, color block, and that works fine for those taillights. But anyway, really neat to see. This one's got a brown interior. This one also has the fold-down tailgate, opening hood, some detail under there. Let's open the other one. So this other one is in medium mocha poly. Pretty awesome. I gotta stop saying pretty cool. I say that like 1,000 times every episode here, and I need something different to say. Again, tin, neat. Use it for like storing something, I don't know, sorting a toolbox, maybe storing some different size drywall screws in there. Here we go. Very nice color. Very nice color indeed. There's another look at like those headlights up front. Looking pretty good. Ford logo. I mean, you can read it, which is kind of cool. It's really tiny. Fold down tailgate, of course. This one's got a little bit of the banana bed thing going on, which happens. Trucks, so diecast trucks, they make them, essentially, the base is one piece, obviously, and then the body and the bed are two different pieces, and that's so they can swap out different beds, or they can tool up different beds for the same cab, and all that. But sometimes, did we get that looking any better? Sometimes the gap is very visible. Like this one just looks better. It's more straight, and sometimes you get this kind of like what appears to be like a banana thing, where this isn't really level. It's kind of tilted in comparison to the body. So that can happen sometimes. It's looking a little bit better now. Sometimes all you need to do is brute force it and kind of like bend it a little bit, or try to bend the base a little bit, and you'll get it to work just fine. Anyway, like this tooling, we got to move on though, because we got quite a bit to get through yet. And very cool little truck. Definitely digging it. Definitely digging it. All right. Should we stick with trucks for a second? I think that makes the most sense. Let's do the Ford Ranger STX. This is an Alpine green metallic. So this is a current release of Classic Gold, 2025 release 2. Oh, man. Alpine green, Ford Ranger. So this is a new casting from Johnny Lightning. So Johnny Lightning also, I should explain, if you're not aware of it, they have changed hands a few times. So it's not always been the same people at the helm. And now we've got round 2 at the helm. And I think they've been there since, I want to say 2014 or something like that is when they relaunched the brand, 2014, 2015. Somewhere in there. So it's been almost, it's been a good 10 years, right? It would seem. And they've done a really good job with the brand. They've made it like a little bit more premium, the way the castings are done. And just had a pretty good run so far. What I was interested in is seeing these headlights right away. And see, this is more like what they typically would do with headlights. Just your silver paint. Just real basic. And that's okay. I mean, it works. It's something I've kind of barked about a little bit, and it looks like they've done something, with it. That's pretty cool. I'll have to talk to Mike Gruthis about that. So anyway, I've been friendly with the guys at round 2. They're really cool. I got to go visit there once. If you're not new to the channel, you know that. This hood is really stuck shut. But I'm going to leave it shut because I don't want to open it then if it's really stuck. The tailgate's really tight too, and we're just going to leave that as well. But this one also has an opening hood and tailgate. If it's looser on the other version, we'll take a look at it. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it alone because I don't really care to look at it. I like the truck just like this, and it looks really good. So this is fantastic. Man, they should just I wish they made trucks like this still. Small little knock around. Not massive, huge things like they are now. Just make a compact truck. I guarantee it would sell. Toyota should make one or something. All right, and then we've got the 87 Ford Ranger. I guess they kind of do, right? Do they? It's the Tacoma is kind of smaller, but it's still big. Whatever. Anyway, then you got it in black. So check that guy out. Built, fun, tough. Sharp. Very sharp looking. Let's see if the hoods are easier to open. The hood does open on these, right? Yeah, I'm definitely sure it does. So the newer Johnny Lightning toolings are actually 1/64 scale. They're like true 1/64 scale. This is really stuck. I'm just not going to mess with it. There's an engine under there. So they're true 1/64 scale, and they kind of follow the Auto World way where they're going to be actually to scale, except for the wheels because they're made for Johnny Lightning wheels. And they're going to have an opening hood, usually. Normally. They're going to have an opening hood at least. This one has an opening hood and a tailgate. You're just going to have to trust me on it. I'm not going to budge them, though, because if they're stuck and they're tight, that makes the casting look perfect because you can't really see... You can see the hood line, but it's not as, like, prominent if I were to open that right now and kind of break the seal on it, so to speak, which I'm just not going to do. So, Stextra. S-Textra. ST Extra. Is that what it is? Anyway, really, really nice. Really, really nice tooling we're rambling on. All right. We'll set those guys over there. All right, let's go back in time. Back in time to a PT Cruiser. Why not? Why not? All right, PT Cruiser. Yeah, they did a PT Cruiser. Look at this sick thing. This is a custom Chrysler PT Cruiser, and it's in a paint job that not uncommon for PT Cruiser owners to have flames on their PT Cruiser. I've seen some wild PT Cruiser. What is this? Oh, this was literally a series? See, this is what I'm talking about. When you're getting goofy with Johnny Lightning, this was a set. Custom PT Cruiser was a set. And there were 6 PT Cruisers in the set. I feel like I'm going to have to try to find all of them. I mean, what? Who would release a whole set of PT Cruisers? Johnny Lightning would. That's what I'm saying. I mean, and again, they haven't been under the same leadership the whole time, so I don't think they would do that now, maybe necessarily, but we've got the one in, is it red, I guess, or is it the burgundy one? I don't know, whatever. Yeah, pretty fun. Playing Mantis, 2003 copyright. Now let's check it out. There's what it looked like in black. There's a lot of these still on the road, actually, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. This one's got a plastic bait, or no. God, is that plastic or is that metal? I think that's actually metal. Yeah, that's actually metal. The wheels are plastic. Oh, that's funny. This one does not have an opening hood. And not all Johnny Lightning castings had opening hoods. But all the newish ones probably will. Yeah. It's a PT Cruiser. It's cool. I mean, who else makes it? Not many people, not many other diecast companies, I don't think, have made it. So I think it's neat. I think it's really cool. So I'm digging that one. Very awesome. All right. Let's go through the 2 other new ones first, and then we're going to just do the rest of the old stuff, and we'll be done. We only have 5 cars yet to go through. Let's start with version A. So this is version A. This is in the same release as the Ford Ranger. So there was only 3 cars in this release, 2 colors each. The Ranger, the Mazda RX7, and an AMC Javelin SST, which I don't have that one. I only bought the 2 colors each of these. So we got it in custom silver. So this RX7, again, is a new Johnny Lightning tooling, or we'll call it a round 2 era Johnny Lightning tooling. So therefore, it is 1/64 scale, actually. So it is scaled correctly. And this is a very nice little casting. Little skinny tires, and the wheels are actually like scaled correctly. I'm honestly surprised they didn't put this out as an Auto World, and I was kind of upset actually when they first put this out, because I was like, why are you guys not? I can't get the dang hood up on this one either. This opens backwards, right? If I push down here, will it open? So the hoods are tough to open, is what we're finding out. And we're just going to leave it shut again because it looks great shut. You guys are just going to have to trust me on this. or get it for yourself and you go ahead and open it. I could use a little tool and get it open. And I guess, you know, if we really have to, we will. Hang on. I feel like we should open one of them. Let's open this other one first and then do it. So this one is Tender Blue. Tender Blue. Ooh, I like it in Tender Blue. That is a very nice color. I feel like... Oh. I'm going to try opening... Well, let's try opening this one. You don't want to look at what I just did to do that. I just did that with a razor blade. But we got in there. We got her open. And there's our engine detail. It is cool. It's really nice, you know, to have that for people that really, really care about that stuff. You know, I could really do without it. I don't need it. I just like the casting lines to look clean. This one's got a little bit of a minor lean to it, which does happen sometimes. It's like the base, or there must be flashing caught inside of here, or the interior's not quite placed in right, or something. Something is just like, these things have such a tight fit together that if you've got like even a little bit of metal flashing left on the base somewhere, it won't pinch entirely shut. And then you get this crooked, see how that's crooked? Crooked action. So the stance is different on one side to the other. I hate that when that happens. I have to point it out when it happens because it is an issue. And I've had quite a few cars. Greenlight suffers from that, or has in the past anyway. I don't know about now, but has in the past suffered from that happening. There's been a couple of Auto World releases where this was kind of sloppy on. And there's been, you know, some Johnny Lightnings that this has happened to as well. But tight tolerances, and then, you know, any little piece of flashing or metal like left in here. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes a green light too, it's because the axle hole is not level in there for some reason. So I don't know. I've seen all sorts of issues kind of cause that lean, and it's not very cool. But other than that, this brown one is like perfect. So that is super awesome, and definitely digging this. V9AG. Vine, I don't know what that means. Someone else probably does. What does this one say? They also like tender. So they also like to have fun with the license plates on their cars, which is pretty awesome too. Outside STX. What did this one say? STX instance. I don't know. Whatever. All right. I'm not going to spend some mental energy on that right now because I got barely any left tonight. All right, let's go ahead and get into these last three. We're going to start with this one here. This is a 1971 Pontiac GTO Judge. Cool casting. I collect it. It's a GTO. I collect all the GTO castings from Johnny Lightning, with the exception of like their first one from like way back in the day. And this date on here is 2001 on the back of the package. This one's got a metal body, metal base, plastic tires. So they've done a lot with plastic tires, and they were really into trying to make downhill racing, like cool downhill racing cars. So that's kind of where that comes from. And apparently there still is a culture of people that participates in diecast downhill racing. Not something that I'm into, but, you know, I remember watching Ghost Jerker stuff, you know, back in the day when I first got into Hot Wheels, and him doing downhill racing with Hot Wheels and seeing who was going to be king of the hill. I mean, that was fun. It's fun. I have a 6-lane raceway, I guess, so but I ain't racing these cars, so I don't really care about that. The wheels look good, even though they're plastic. I think it looks fine. This is a pretty decent version of this car. It's got a white interior, which almost makes me think like White Lightning, but I'm pretty sure it's not. And it's pretty cool. So by the way, the chases for Johnny Lightning are white lightnings, and it can be like any crazy different attribute that makes it the chase. It could be sneaky, like just the interior is different. It could be really loud, like the whole car, including the wheels and tires and base and everything is white. They've just done a lot of weird stuff. Chrome windows, like all sorts of weird stuff for chases. I don't really collect the chases, but it's cool to get them every once in a while, and it's really fun to find them in store. But yeah, so this is pretty neat. Digging it. It's a nice looking GTO, really. A little bit small, not quite 1/64 scale. And we do have a little issue right there in the fender well. Typically what that's caused from is there's flashing that was left on the casting, which flashing just means a little piece of extra metal, and it was probably filed off at the factory or broken off, and that caused that sort of misshapen wheel well. That's usually what that is. And yeah, that's another kind of common quality control issue in diecast. So if you've been collecting diecast for any period of time, you inevitably have a car or two that's got that issue. All right, moving on. We've got the 1948 Tucker Torpedo. This is a limited edition, new casting. Cool looking casting. And this is from Classic Gold, 2003 it looks like. Looks like there were some cool cars in that release, including a GTO, Dodge Ram Club Cab, Acura Integra, GSR, Mini Cooper, and a Nash Metropolitan. What a wide range of interesting cars. This one comes with a little trading card. I've got like so many of these. I save them too. One day I'm going to sell them on eBay and make a fortune. I'm just kidding. Surprisingly, they probably would sell on eBay, though. Somebody would want them for something. This one has a metal base, metal body, rubber tires. Quite a cool little casting. 3 headlights. I mean, that's awesome. It's just something you don't see every day, you know what I mean? And that's why Johnny Lightning is fun. Just a bunch of stuff you just don't see every day, right? I think this is really cool. One of these days, we're going to do a little live stream or something like that. I've been thinking about doing that. If you're hanging on to the end of this video, all my videos are long, but if I did like really collection deep dives, they would be super long. And one of these days, I think I'm going to do some lives. We'll start doing some live deep dives. And I think it'll be a lot of fun to kind of just grab my whole Johnny Lightning collection. You guys guide me through what you want to look at, and we just kind of look at some stuff. I think it would be a blast. All right. Last, but certainly not least, the 1985 Porsche 911. I saved this one for last because I'm expecting it to be the one I was most excited about. And these can get expensive. I will tell you that right away. If you're trying to find the Johnny Lightning Porsches on eBay, these can get pricey. I did pay a decent amount for this one, just to let you know. Your car is the star photo contest for Classic Gold. That's really cool. Look at those. You can pause that and read that if you want. But see, Johnny Lightning just did some cool stuff. Really cool stuff. The one complaint, I would have about any of the round 2 stuff right now is they just don't release enough of it. I wish there was more that came out every year. Just a little bit more. I wrecked the back of that card, but here's our Porsche 911 Classic Gold collection. And here is our car. And also it'd be cool if they get this license back so they could use this tooling again, because it's a pretty nice one. And I've got a couple different versions of it. I don't think I had this red one. I've got a brown one. I've got a black one. I can't remember all of what I have, but nice to add another one to the collection here. And I mean, it's a pretty well done tooling. Kind of goofy for the, the little sunroof thing or whatever that they just did a black line around it. Why even print that there, right? If you do this again, just don't even print that. Just leave it. And this one does have an opening engine bay. And that actually popped open really easy. Not much detail in there, but it's there. I mean, not painted detail. There's molded detail in there, but that's pretty cool. And they make this with 2 different deck lids or whatever. And they make it with the like the ducktail on it, with the wing on it, and without. So they can make these with the wing and without. The overall silhouette of the car, it looks great. It looks fantastic. And this one's pretty old. I didn't get a date, did I? I didn't. This was it, right? No, that was the Tucker. Where did I put it? Right here. All right. Date on this one was Porsche 911. It was 2003. Pretty old now. Beautiful tooling, though. Really, really cool looking. You can look at the other 6 that were in the set, just in case it gives you any ideas. By the way, if you want to look at like the whole breadth of assortment of Johnny Lightning since the beginning of Johnny Lightning, go to JL, as in Johnny Lightning, collector.net. Check out that website. It's run by a guy named Wyatt, super cool guy. He also does an Auto World collector one as well. It's also very useful. Really good resource if you want to check it out. You're like, oh, I want to see every single one of these that they put out. Go check that out. He's got that information there, and then you know what you can go hunt for. That's a fun time, right? Very fun time. So this is really cool. All right. Thank you guys for watching another big, long episode. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate you tuning in. And like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And have yourself an awesome day. See you later.